everyone, and welcome back to Fontaine. We are currently right outside / in Poisson. Oh, there is Navia. She's waiting for us. I love the look of this place. The bronze and the teal. The water. Oh, it looks amazing. All right, let's talk to Navia. We're working on, oh yes, the mystery of the disappearing people and how it connects to her father's death and implication in a crime. Oh, hi, Navia. Wow. She waved at me.
Whoa! What a huge ship!
Wow.
Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
Does the cavern ever flood to that level?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Oh.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
Oh, did you design the place in the city that we just visited?
A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you like it.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Yes, tell me about your past and your family's history.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
And by began, you mean they got involved in the fishing industry? Ooh. Oh wow, I almost thought we were going to get a cutscene. Talk to Melus on the ship. Will do. Oh, mental note today. I want to try to read that second artifact set that we've been wanting to read. I do want to focus on the Archon quest for a little bit here so we have time to read it before we get back to that other world quest. Oh, excuse me, Yvette. How are you? Mind you don't get hit. Tools aren't living people. They don't know where they're going. How do you do? Oh, a youngster with manners. Looks like you aren't one of those block-headed Spina newbies. I work with those clumsy idiots way too often to maintain a good temper. Of course, not that my temper was ever all that good. May I ask who you are? Oh, right, forgot to introduce myself. I'm the technical advisor to the Spina di Rosula. I might be old, but my hands and brain still work just fine. Now, don't let the headaches I get with greenhorns who keep breaking things fool you. I very much enjoy my work here at the Spina. Back when I was at the Fontaine Research Institute, I quit on my own. Too hard working with people with my crappy temper. As it turned out, that was a smart decision. Otherwise, you might have had to find my bones at the bottom of the sea. Things are different here. Doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80. So long as you've the ability, there's a place for you to use it. How fortunate. Yes, perhaps this is how fate is telling me you're on the right path. But as a former scientist, I have to say this is all too abstract. In other words, the right path in an orderly society should be one where people with proper capabilities gain recognition. Sure. Teachings of order, thank you very much. Neat. She's their engineer, I suppose. Now, when she says that her bones would have been found at the bottom of the sea, do you mean you would have gotten so frustrated you would have died? Or do you mean in order to make you leave, they would have killed you? Or are you worried about being caught in that explosion that happened? I would love a little bit of clarity there. I'm trying to figure out how to get to the boat. I've also just remembered that there's an Oculus behind us, but I think that little water spout that was by the teleporter is how we're supposed to get that. Is it this way, do you suppose? I don't think it is, but I'm curious what is this one. That Oculus must be on the surface. No. Mysterious platform. Well, I suppose this is one way to get onto the ship. Is that a ladder there? Perhaps we could have climbed that as well. Looking for chests and things to interact with. Ramp, kind of. Melus! Oh, it's so lovely up here. I like the gardens. Greetings.
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners.
We apologize for keeping you waiting on us.
You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea?
Right, because last time we tried to find any record of anybody with the name Vacher in the archives, couldn't find anything, got a little frustrated, but then we remembered that maybe we need to look at this case in a new light, with the new evidence or new information about the primordial seawater.
You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, we unfortunately kind of need the details of Navia's father's incident
Yeah, of
at
course.
this point.
Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
I swear I've seen that word before.
At a
Synth?
glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your
Ooh.
mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
This must be that distilled form of the primordial seawater that they were talking about. Remember back at Lindy's trial, they said that they found that in distilled quantities or something, it could induce euphoria?
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Thank you, Paimon.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance.
Yeah, wow.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield.
Nice.
Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Well, no wonder he was framed for murder.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
Oh dear.
But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Okay, I thought previously they had said that the person who died was a good friend of his. To this, it sounds more like they were recent acquaintances, but who knows, maybe they became close very quickly. So it seems like if there was a third person, they shot Jacques. Navia's father drew his weapon in response. Or maybe the murderer pulled a gun on Jacques, so Navia's weapon drew his weapon in response. And trying to force a stalemate. But then the person just went ahead and shot Jacques. And then immediately doused themselves with seawater, like they sacrificed themselves in order to frame Navia's father for murder.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all.
That's a good point.
Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Oh, we're there now. If this keeps happening, that'll become a very distinctive piece of evidence, I feel like. So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques? But it's also possible that the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning.
How many... This is gonna be really gruesome. I'm so sorry. How many bullets did they find? And specifically, how many bullets did they find in Jacques?
I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Because if there's a missing bullet, maybe the third person got shot. If they dissolved with a bullet in them, would the bullet also dissolve? Or, like the clothing, would it be left behind?
On that note, however...
I assume be left behind.
Even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's
Ooh.
butler, I must still offer a word of warning.
Dramatic song.
Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself.
And yet, he was not the type of guy to tell you anything, was he?
Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly?
I'm suddenly realizing, possibly, why Navia wears so much black.
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
I like Malus. He gave his warning and his caution, but as soon as she said, nope, I'm still gonna pursue this, he supports her wholeheartedly.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet,
What?
Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case.
Okay, Malus, I just praised you. You couldn't have mentioned this earlier?
But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Oh, he knew a lot, didn't he?
What?
And they just tried again, too.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness.
Oh my god.
The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you.
Why would they target such a high-profile person?
Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public.
Clever. Blackmail.
If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
And I guess he was one of those people?
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
Did he really have any evidence, though?
No.
Was it a
I
bluff?
don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
Doesn't mean he wasn't.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword.
Nice.
If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved,
You would be proud?
I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Aww.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters,
Oh.
and thus understood little of me as a person.
Ooh.
In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
Please, I'm dying to know.
It's the location where synth is produced.
Oh.
Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
That is super helpful information.
When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
Alright, where do we think it is? My first thought was the research institute, but that really depends on how long ago it blew up.
But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
I guess because the research institute is the only location that I know of that we don't already have unlocked. There could be like, the second research institute somewhere, or someplace called the distillery that I don't know because I can't see it on the map.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
And if anybody from Fontaine goes storming in, a single mist could take them out.
There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
So we have no idea what we'll encounter. And so it'll be really hard to plan what we want to accomplish by going there. But by going there, we will be declaring war. So it's not something we should do until we're completely ready to do so.
The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Indeed. Oh, also, I had some thoughts about why they might be doing these disappearances. I'm gonna try to remember to talk about those.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Indeed.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
He's probably had years agonizing over it.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
You're so cool, Malus. Performing basic investigations?
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
What have you found?
Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here.
Better not be you, Malus. Better not be Silver.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark, and observe the reactions of the synth vendors.
Oh.
If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
And we can understand from this that Navia has been spending the last few years cracking down on synth vendors.
After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
Oh, yeah?
The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
Could be very helpful in designing a murder scene that would frame him.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Oh, they're part of the Spina di Rosula? Then what were they doing intimidating that blacksmith?
Uncle Marcel.
What is this confrérie?
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Okay, so they're just friends, like friend organizations, not part of each other.
In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
1 second, say the word again.
There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Okay.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
Playing the long game, Navia.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan 1 step ahead.
And we have already seen the guards have been infiltrated.
I see.
So, possible.
These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Oh.
They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
So helpful.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Aha! Kalos' case records. 3 years ago, on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Kalos had a gun in his hands and Jacques had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Kalos was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. There might have been more to that, but I didn't see it. Cool, but I can always check if I need to. Let's see if there's anything in here. Oh. Alright, so we've got several people we can talk to. Ooh, and an Oculus. So we've got 3 suspects, and I assume we want to track down who it is, because first of all, not good to not know who it is, and second of all, we might be able to get some information from them, or follow them back. Wow, it looks so cool in here. If they go to make a report to their superiors. I want to go in that little house. But first, we're talking to Jacques' family. I like how everything is like just subtly a little seawatered.
It is settled then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Thank you, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh, that is one angry kid. Hi, Adele.
Oh,
Oh, she does not like you.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt.
Seems like she didn't want to come face them until she could deliver the truth behind the case. You know, solve the case first and then approach them with the truth as her gift.
On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
Yeah, so they knew that he had betrayed them.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Wait, does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out Callis?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
Here's my guess. Also, those, whatever they are behind these two, that's freaking me out. What is that? It's creepy. Oh man, I just had a thought that I wanted to share. It was something like, here's what I'm guessing happened. I think Jacques was found out, and I think his superiors ordered him to kill Callis or lose his family. Or he knew that his days were numbered. They didn't tell him to kill Callis, but he just knew that basically as soon as he left the banquet, they would kill him. So I think that he told Callis to kill him in order to keep the blackmail stalemate that Callis had going with this organization alive. Yeah. I had a really important thought, and I can't remember what it was. But I'm thinking it wasn't even self-defense. I don't think Jacques even tried to kill Callis, though this is just a complete guess. I think he just asked Callis to kill him.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons.
Yeah, and I don't think he did it even.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh, and she's really seeing herself in Adele.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
I want Navia to, like, adopt Adele as her little sister. I want them to be friends.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
Aw, I bet that makes her happy to hear.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Oh, she really looks up to him, doesn't she? Okay, testimony from Jacques' family. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to this incident?
I'll leave my husband's case to you.
We'll do our best.
thank you, Miss Spina, and Miss Spina's friend.
Perfectly reasonable titles. We did not tell you our names, did we? What the heck? Like, I thought maybe it was some sort of sea creature. Is that a vegetable? What is... That is so strange. Okay.
Are you okay, Navia?
Oh.
Ah,
Whoa.
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
Go, Sel! I want to talk to
Laurent
you.
should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
I definitely want to hear all the dialogue. I also have no idea where I am going, but it appears to be this way. Ooh, investigate. Alright, suspect number 1. Hello?
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
Okay, Florent. He was, very close with her father, right?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
How does that make you feel? What do you think?
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene.
Oh, okay. I should speak about the thing that I've been thinking about this trial. Or this whole serial disappearances thing. Basically, small thought, won't take too long. I was wondering, why would they keep making people disappear? What is their end goal with all this? Because by keeping disappearing people, they're getting more and more attention on themselves. People want to find them and bring them to justice. So if they have some grand scheme in mind, they're just jeopardizing their grand scheme by doing these tests. Which tells me that they're doing these tests for a reason. They have to do them. At first I was like, well, why would they keep doing that? If you're wanting to test if it works, you only have to test it once, and then you know that it works. My next guess, and this is the part that I wanted to share, is that maybe what they're testing is dilution. How diluted can this water be, the primordial water, before it is no longer effectual? Because if they're planning to get all of Fontaine, what I would do is poison the water supply. Maybe the Fountain of Lucine or something. And so I would need to know how much primordial seawater do I need in order to get all of Fontaine if we're diluting it by adding it to the general water. The potable water. So that was my guess for why they keep doing these tests. They're testing smaller and smaller doses in order to see where it stops working. So that if they wanted to create an artificial rain, or if they wanted to put it into the water system, they know how many parts primordial water still work with X many parts actually safe drinking water, that sort of thing. However, so that was the thought that I had before that I wanted to share. However, while doing this quest right here, I'm starting to wonder if maybe they have more aspirations. What is their end goal of all this? My thought was maybe they're trying to get all of Fontaine to dissolve for some reason. But maybe they also just have, monetary gain on the mind, because clearly they were working with the synth distillers and dealers for some reason. Maybe they just need the resources in order to pull off their plan? But still, they're starting to seem more and more mortal. Because before it was like, whoa, it was almost like magic. They have primordial seawater that they can dissolve a man on stage by. Like, how did they do that? This seemed like a really mysterious and powerful threat, but they're seeming more and more grounded. We know now that the synth dealers, at least, are susceptible to blackmail. So they're feeling more and more approachable and reachable through this quest, which is good. We're going in the right direction. But it does make me wonder what their end goals are and why they would risk getting involved with, synth dealers, or, making the synth dealers by giving them the resources in order to further these goals.
After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after?
Nobody went with him?
My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
So you were armed as well?
But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
Why is everybody armed when dueling without a permit is illegal?
So you also
That's a
remember
small
2
question.
gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
If it didn't hit anyone, where did it go? What did it hit?
Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table.
Ooh.
I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene.
Oh my.
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Can we? Oh my god, look at that cleaver. Was the gun ever examined?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
I mean, this could be super easy. The third guy pops up, shoots Jacques. Mr. Callus wrestles the gun away from him. The third guy gives it up very easily because then he pops his primordial water, dissolves himself, and leaves Mr. Callus there at the scene of the crime with a dead body and a gun in his hand.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
I mean, earlier we were saying that maybe he thought that he wouldn't be believed, but I think that he was worried about his whole blackmail situation being jeopardized, though I'm not entirely sure how. I want to think on that more.
He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and
Ooh.
chose instead to prove his honor in a duel.
Because the Oratrice would know if something was true or not, so he intended to lie on the stand if it came to that.
Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
Could that third person have deliberately sowed suspicion of the courts in his mind during that scene? It doesn't sound like they had a lot of time.
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel.
Yeah, okay. I think it was to protect the blackmail situation.
I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss.
I like Florent. I feel like we can tentatively trust him.
And if I may just
For
say one
now.
more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed.
You could call those people callous, no?
But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Okay. Information regarding Florent. Florent. The advisor to the Spina di Rosula claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was present at the banquet and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out.
My apologies, boss, for that last sentimental bit. It's just... many years have passed while I've held my tongue. It's not often that I get to share my true feelings with others.
I think she probably appreciated it. Okay, go to the Quarter Fontaine and speak to Terry. I'm guessing this is right under the bridge. There you are. You must look underwater, actually. You are underwater! Well, don't mind if I do. Ooh, interesting. There's a path here. Sure, let's go on this magical mystery ride. I wonder where we'll end up. Sorry, fish. Oh, wait, I want that! I want that! No, 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 no! I want the thingies! Why would you do this to me? Also, where am I going? I am actually quite intrigued to know where this path leads. These are the things I want. I was about to say we should see if I can level Charlotte yet, but actually... she needs a boss, doesn't she? And I don't know if she's leveled enough to be ascended. If only I could infinitely generate experience materials. I love the little spin. Should I get in this one? No, it's gonna send me the other way! Darn it. And I just found a fun little underwater place too. Can I escape? I can't. Back we go. Well, I'm not one to complain when I'm underwater. I love it down here. I love all the little fish. Elton Trench. Ooh, Oculus. Is it above or below? Oh, a seal! I don't think I've fought any seals before, have I? Oh god. Oh no. Help me! Let's mark this. I just realized I should mark... local legend it was called? I know where the other one is because it's right above that thing, but I am not going to remember where this guy is. I flee. I flee immediately. I just want to see if I can find... an Oculus. That's so scary. Look at it over there. There's the Oculus! Yay! Everything's fine. As long as that guy leaves me alone. The Grand Fleet's Gravekeeper. Oh my god, you can really go deep down here. Oh, I'm in an underground... Okay. I really don't have a lot of map pins left. I shall simply just try to remember that there's an underground area here, which you can find by going to that local legend pin. Maybe I should mark, actually. I could label. Plus underground entrance. Okay, excuse me. There we are. Lovely. Perfect. Excellent. Multitasking. Does it go even deeper? No, not really. Oh, finally. We've escaped it. Are these tunnels? Nope, it's one way. Hehehe. We're in the darkness. We're off the map. Look at this fish! Hi! Is there one going backwards? There's always one going backwards when you've got a school like this. I don't see any... There's always a few going backwards. They're so fun. I'm about to hit the surface of the water? Whee! Ooh! What's this place? Graveyard of ships. Hello? There's enemies up here. Hey guys! What is this place? I don't want to kill the frog. I hope it escaped. Oh good, I need these for fish... fish baits. Who's fighting me? There's somebody here. What heroic music, my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at all these investigates! Wow! Is that a... No, I thought it was a spin crystal. Let's feed. The dog is underwater. Buddy, are you alright down there? There you are. Don't let you keep the dog, okay? If you're gonna throw electricity around, do it over here so it doesn't get in the water. Thank you kindly. I will do the same.
Picked.
Alright, are we done here?
Test subject.
I think we are. I hope you enjoy your food. I hope you are also aquatic, because my goodness, you can hold your breath for a long time. There you go, buddy. So I'm in this spot now. Is there a way out? Or can you only get to this area? Ooh. Oh! I must not have noticed it during the fighting. Okay, okay. Alright, let's give it a try. It might be a lot easier to get if we came down from above, though. Darn it. Around the corner, if you please, my dear. Up. Up. Ha. Excellent. Ah! Not excellent! No! All of my precious hard work climbing! I need Kazuha. Or to get up slightly higher. Think it'll go from here? Yeah. There we go. Think I could leave that way? I kind of don't think so. Usually when it's bright light like that, they actually don't let you leave that way. So is this really the only way in here? Is there not another entrance? Doesn't seem like it. Excusez-moi. Well, we've lost our ability that we had, that we picked up earlier, so I don't think it would be a good idea to go fight that local legend as much as I so dearly wish to. I wonder if they each have, like, different special abilities, or a different thing that makes them difficult? Because it just said that they were very formidable or something, right? I'm just remembering how the first one would kill me in one hit. Oh yeah, speaking of which. Oh yeah, Xingqiu does have a lot more HP than I do. Wow. Okay. Where was that thing? Wasn't here. Oh, this is where the other entrance is. Nope, never mind. That's the guy right there, isn't it? Yep, there you are. You scare me. You scare me a lot. You scare me. You're very cute. Oh my... This is terrifying. At least I don't follow you, though. Yeah, this is fine, actually. If it doesn't follow me, I'm fine. The guy's invisible, but if I just go in, like, slow circles, it's fine. I need to make sure I don't leave its hunting ground too far, though, or else it might restart, which would be bad. Where'd you go, buddy? Is that you? I already know which one it is. I think I got one hit in. Wow. It seems I do a lot of damage if I hit it while it's invisible. Oh, there you are. I'm trying to figure out how to tell you apart from the other seals. You're shiny. Oh god, that's attacks. Move. Oh no, oh no. No! I've taken damage. Oh, so it does follow me, just kind of slowly. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, investigate. Now is not the time. It's fine. If I do something with this guy's skill, I know it senses stuff. How do I sense this guy? Let's move. I must have gotten really lucky with that one hit. So, like, is it over here? Oh god, that's gonna hit me. Yeah, it hit me. And I think my healing thing is gone, yeah. Oh, there's another one. That's nice. It's still right there, isn't it? Ah, got it. Great. Found you, buddy. Okay, so you kind of just have to risk it all. And attack right into the attacks. Out of the way! Oh my god, so scary. But I want to get like a fancy chest or something from this. You look like you're about to attack me. You are about to attack me. So scary. Oh wait, I can heal. I have food. Come here, buddy. Don't go away. Going invisible, that's fine. I will simply follow. Go a little this, do a little bit of that. Let's just spin in a circle. See if we can get more fishies. Fishies! We're doing pretty good with this one, actually. Oh, oh, oh! We did it! We got him! Ah! What did he drop? 14 pearls? Wow. Oh, that was so much more peaceful than the last one. The last one was rough. So they do, it seems like they do each have their own abilities. But this guy, he could turn invisible. The other one, I don't even know. Do these guys respawn? I'll keep the marker there for now, just in case. We can always check and maybe that's how we'll learn whether or not they respawn. I'm not gonna bother those guys, they're sleeping. But yeah, with the other guy, I don't think we even survived for long enough to know what its special ability might be. But with this one, it turned invisible. Are we healed? Yeah, we're actually pretty healed. Navia? Oh, Deary! Hi! That was so nice of them not to kidnap me as soon as I teleported in.
It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
So Deary is that how you say your name?
Hey, Thierry!
Deary. So Thierry is the basically liaison between Spina di Rosula and the guards, is our connection.
So you've got news of that already.
To me, he is the most suspicious. We already know the guards to be compromised after all.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I'm a little perplexed. We are in the city. Do you mean that his normal station is in Poisson? And what is he doing here, in the city?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Suspicious. So he wants to be working there. Great place to work if you're intending to spy on Spina di Rosula.
Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way.
In your way? Also cool. So Callis founded Spina di Rosula, did he?
It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city.
Okay.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Sounds like he's ambitious, but also a little... He wants power and wealth, but he doesn't want to have to work hard for it. You kind of have a motive, buddy.
Ah, yes. These two are my partners.
But at this point, he's so suspicious that I wonder if it's a red herring.
What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're
I
sorry.
get it.
Let's try that
What
again.
happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
There we go. And now we have to do Thierry's. Okay.
I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Ooh.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
But to be fair, how would he get rid of the serial numbers? I assume they'd be like embossed into the metal somewhere. That'd be hard to get out.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them.
Oh yeah?
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage.
That analogy does not work. I have no idea what you mean.
If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex.
So what you're saying is that the Gardamex have like a reason core or a logic core that helps them recognize when somebody might be giving them an unjust order. Could that be interfered with?
Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret.
Why do you even know about the details of the process, hmm?
So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Also, you didn't seem surprised at all when she said, hey, so a horde of mechas attacked me. Was that the hypothetical? Let's see. Yeah, it was a hypothetical. But you know that wasn't a hypothetical, but you didn't seem very surprised.
They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Then how do you know about the synth business? Just because you've been working in Poisson and they told you about it? Or, I guess, because he was introduced as they tell him about their actions before they do it. That he's kept in the loop. Makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
I wouldn't agree, but telling him is a good move so that he lowers his guard.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Thank you, Thierry. Well, I do think he's the most suspicious that we've met so far. The next up is the Confrérie of Cabaret or something guy. And based on what we've seen of them in the story so far, it would make a lot of sense for them to be our next target.
I'll see what I can do for you in Spina di Rosula when it comes to guard stuff, but don't go advertising it to everyone else.
We'll do our best. Yeah, Marcel. I don't trust Confrérie of Cabaret. Even though, Emilie? Is that how you say her name? I know she's a playable character. I think I even did her trial once upon a time. So if she's affiliated with them, that does make them shine a little bit more brightly in my eyes. But at this point, because I know she came out way later, at this point I have no reason to trust them. Oh my god, look at this thing. What is this thing? So they could be very corrupt at this point, who knows. Also, they were bothering that blacksmith earlier, which was rude of them. You have a cool name. So maybe part of our journey here will be figuring out what's up with Confrérie of Cabaret. Cabaret? Surely I can interact with this. I have to assume this is some sort of like indemnity focal point. Can you tell me what this is? Good evening. Are you here on a stroll as well? The night views are quite nice. Well now, that's not something you see every day. A young person with the same tastes as a retiree like myself. The young lads and lasses are all like this continuously moving statue in the middle of the plaza. They're full of energy, yet they often know not what they do anything for. Forgive my pessimism. It might be on account of my past as a champion duelist. Tell me about the champion duelists. It is a profession that exists to maintain dignity, yet lives alongside conflict. Suspects who do not believe that they should have to stand trial will request a duel to defend their reputation. Only concession or expiry can end a duel. There are very few who can defeat official champion duelists. Okay, so those are the terms, concession or expiry. So you can concede and therefore go to trial. Or you can duel to the death and avoid your trial. So I would doubt it would be hard for you to imagine what happens to such suspects. I suppose the champion duelist could also possibly concede, if need be. And then that person doesn't have to go to trial. Oh! Bye! Just teleported away. Oh, are you playing an instrument? Alas, I cannot hear it. This divine music is not for our mortal ears, it would seem. Alright, let's see what's up with this cabaret. Cabaret? I need to see the words again.
Hello. How may I help you?
Confrérie of Cabaret.
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Thank you. Ooh, I like her bun. After waiting for a while, Marcel arrives in a hurry.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Sure.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Was he there?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Sounds like he was there.
Oh, You were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Could you have run into him if you looked around enough?
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Navia was a huge help.
To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Please don't. I don't want to be brought to trial for defamation or something.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Had enough of that in Mondstadt?
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Interesting.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Yeah, they tried to kill us twice. Yep.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
Well, they've tried to kill us twice.
We were attacked on Araneas
Besides
by
that,
some
though.
unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Here's my guess. Does Marcel have a son?
Oh,
Or a
you're giving
child?
us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Let us see Marcel. Is he surprised by this news?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past.
Because you sound like you're very aware of the deal that Callus made. Did Callus tell you about it? I thought he only told Spina di Rosula employees. Because, okay, it could be that maybe this guy was like... I'm trying to remember why these guys are suspicious, right? Because of the synth dealers. It could be that this guy was the head of the synth operation. And maybe in his old age that he mentioned, the first thing he said when we saw him, one of his underlings or a possible heir of his is annoyed with his leadership and thinks they should be more aggressive about expanding, whereas Marcel is like, no, we've made enough money. We're good enough as we are. We don't want to expand and like hurt more people or jeopardize our operation. So it could be Marcel was in charge, but now some operatives are going rogue and doing things their own way, including jeopardizing the deal between Navia's father and Marcel, because maybe they don't even know about it. I could see that happening. Basically, a division in the ranks of the synth side.
But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there.
Why are you saying Poisson will always be safe for you? What control do you have over Poisson?
If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
And you won't if somebody lays a hand on her here?
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
If we want to be really suspicious of this guy, we could say that he's trying to get her, you know, to go home and keep her head down. And so he said to his people, you know, don't attack her if she stays in Poisson.
Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory.
Second time he's mentioned his age. Suspicious.
The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time, making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests.
You were responsible for the banquet? Well, he could have easily hid somebody in the bushes.
Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
You only heard one gunshot? Where were you during the magic trick?
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't come from some synth dealings? Suspicious. Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières, and was the organizer of the banquet years prior. Yeah. Marcel, anything else to add?
Alas, why do these kinds of things happen to the kindest people?
What do you think, Navia? Where are you? Up those stairs? Wow, is that a bell sound? No, that's the one thing that would make this city even better. A clock tower. That's a clock! Does it have a bell, though? You know, Mr. Buggy was saying that the hour hand is accurate to the in-game clock. Right? I don't even see it. I'm too far away. Maybe? Oh, ah! Okay, so it's this time currently. Maybe not this one. Aw, unfortunate. It's such a pretty clock, though. What is this building? Oh, is this the central station? Yeah, the waterway hub. I want to find the clocks that are accurate. I think that would be fun. Unless it's my clock that isn't accurate. Hi. Nor! Might be time to check the durability of the bearings. Who are you? I'm a patrolling guards member. More precisely, I accompany the Gardamek on patrol. Tell me about the Gardamex. They're machines, but they're an indispensable part of the guards. We rely on them for the maintenance of public safety, day in and day out. As for me, you can consider me more of an engineer in charge of their maintenance. Sounds pretty easy? It's a lot easier if we don't need to deal with any danger directly. In turn, the maintenance and upkeep of Gardamex must be practiced every day. As long as I keep a Gardamek in good condition, it will be able to protect others. Simple, isn't it? And we got experience! Thank you! Navia! Right here? I guess.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
We should split up and follow them.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I'd say the middle guy sounded suspicious and the third guy also sounds suspicious. Yeah, none of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years.
Seriously, that third guy, he said the gunshot instead of 2. He could say that his memory is foggy, but I think that's suspicious.
Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
That is the most simple explanation, and that would also explain the 2 gunshots. He could have tried to shoot Callus, and then Callus could have shot him in return. But then what would the point of the third guy being there even be? He could have tried to shoot Callus. Callus could have gotten the gun away from him and said, hey, let's just talk this out. Tell me what you need. I'll protect your family. Remember that he did indeed bring Jacques' family into the fold after he died. So maybe he just took the gun away from him, and so the third guy was like, oh no, popped up, shot Jacques, and then watered himself?
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all. And yeah, I do like my theory from last episode, was it? When I said, I don't think... Oh my god, was that just earlier today? Goodness me. I don't think Jacques would have even tried to kill him. I think he would have just confessed to him his orders.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Exactly.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
And that's exactly what I think would happen, because his father took in the people afterwards. Or her father took in his family afterwards. Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
I'll go back. That was a cool shot. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
Also, I think he's the leader of the synth dealings, but sure.
And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
I'm really loving this location because the clock in the background, it looks so cool.
Also, wouldn't this mean he has
Look
been
at it.
spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
She looks great. Maybe it was someone else. No, I think he's playing the long game. Oh, I was wrong, alas. Okay, Florent. What's his story again? Oh, was like the second in command, basically. And then Thierry is the guy. Is it really Florent? Is it really the one guy I didn't suspect? Well, let's go through Thierry.
You say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
I don't think it's him, though.
But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Oh my god, what if the reason why Spina di Rosula is out of funds is because Florent has been using them to purchase mechs to kill Navia?
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able
That'd be
to
hilarious.
prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Maybe it was someone else. Yeah, I just chose Thierry because I wanted to hear the dialogue. Florent, of course, is the one guy I didn't suspect. That's why he was so nice and the other two were so suspicious.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques.
Unless it's a secret fourth option.
But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
That's what he wants you to think.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly. Who could it be?
It was me. I think... Oh, is this thinking time? Oh, it's thinking time. I missed something? Was there an optional investigate? Don't tell me I just like walked right past it. I totally just walked right past it, didn't I? Okay. And I can't exit this either, so I can't go investigate more. Well, let's just look at Marcel.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
He was the one I was the most suspicious of, so let's hope he's the right one.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these 3, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the 3, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
I sure hope it's not Malus. I trust that man with my life. And yeah, his reasoning had nothing to do with people turning into water, so... His reasoning was... When they were moving against the synth dealers, he deliberately did not tell certain people to see if the synth dealers would be tipped off or not. So this has nothing to do with the primordial water, kind of. It has nothing to do with the disappearances.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal
Kind of.
affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who's very close to you, after all.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now.
That ambient noise is so interesting.
We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
What is that? It almost sounds like an alarm sound far off in the distance. Is that in real life? No, it's in the game.
Navia, here you are.
Diary!
I've been looking for you.
Hi.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Oh, who is it?
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Wait, Childe? What did he do? I mean, I know he's been dueling, he was dueling people, so did he concede in his duel? But if he was doing them just for fun, they would have no reason to bring him to trial afterwards. Oh my god, what did he do?
What? Is that someone you know?
It sure is.
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Oh, I'm so excited.
He's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Oh my god.
It's absurd, don't you think?
Someone keeps trying to pin this on Fatui.
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away.
Thank you, Diary.
If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Wow, he's actually really absolving him of a lot of my suspicions. He's trying to make sure our investigations can proceed.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Thank you, Thierry. What would be the sentencing for this sort of thing? Is there highest punishment being sent to the fortress of Merobid? I know how to say that now because I've been listening to Aval's lectures or presentations, tours on the Aquabus.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
I'll head over there. I guess I could defend him in court. Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus, while I'll go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities. Oh, that does make more sense.
Just as expected of my partner.
You can go watch the trial and see what they say, and I will go storm the palace.
Since this is a
As it were.
trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open.
True. So really, Childe and whoever framed him is doing us a favor.
You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit.
Oh.
I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Leave it to me. This is so cool.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
And this is so, like, if it isn't Marcel, one just hopes that he's a cool enough uncle to kind of go along with it, trusting Navia to be doing this for a reason, you know, accusing him for a reason. Man, I wish I could be a fly on the wall. Man, I wish I could be a fly on the wall during that trial, though. That'll be so fun.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Stay safe.
See you then!
Oh, this is so cool. Okay, alrighty. Marcel is our top suspect at the moment, at least for the synth business. I don't think he's the true mastermind. Ooh.
We should also get going.
Behind, like, the disappearances or anything. Just the synth.
So let's head over.
You want me to take 5 steps forward? Okay. Well, maybe a little bit more than that. What, are you going to send me a boat? Because we need to get to the, Is it underwater?
Oh! The synth production base is underwater.
Oh, of course it is.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
That's ingenious. And it's right over. I was just over. Do you suppose it's going to be in this underground area that I marked out but didn't go down because I was like, what if I discover something important? I better not discover it now. That will be so cool. Oh my god, it's underwater. This is perfect. I'm so excited. I kind of want to do... Let's see. How am I doing with wishes? We just pulled last time. Oh, I'm at 49 again. Oh no, I'm just below 50. I do want to do 110 though. I do. I'm feeling so excited right now. Okay. Alas. What is it with... Oh no, it's a claymore. I was very excited for a second. Okay. Let's convert a little bit though. Man, what is it with all my wishes lately taking me to, like, hard pity or whatever it's called? Let's see, what are we at? And the last thing I wished for on this banner, I'm pretty sure was child. It was. So we're at 50, 61. We're probably at 61. We're so close to 70. No, we need to do 15 more to get to 70. Never mind. Not 5 more. Okay. We're making... Well, how much time do I have left on that? I think we're making good progress. Oh yeah, 12 days? I think I can get to at least 75 in 12 days. I really want that sword. I love wishing on chronicled banners, actually. I think they're really fun. Okay. Should we pick up a power before we storm the tower? Oh, we're about to hit the circle. Just right there. Nice. Is this it? Is it a domain entrance? Wow. Talk to Paimon. Paimon!
Finally found it! So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
I was wondering if we could talk underwater. We can! How does that work? Well, they don't want it to stand out. Yes, but I'm sure what we find inside will be extraordinary.
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Don't talk too loudly, Paimon. If I went to the courthouse, could I see something? Oh! They're taking me. Yay! This is gonna be so...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
He's not gonna be cooperative at all, is he? Especially because he knows he's been falsely accused. I'm assuming he's been falsely accused. So, he's gonna be so petulant, I feel like.
Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I haven't even gotten past this part.
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
He's never even heard of the disappearances.
However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Oh, of course.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received.
Of course.
When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
He cares so little about the fact that he's the prime suspect of his disappearance.
Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
He's gonna try to pick a fight with her next.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it
Getting
would
a little
appear
flustered.
that communication with the defendant is going poorly.
Alas.
We have made very little progress.
Navia doesn't even need to do anything. She can just wait to play her cards.
In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
You can just feel the long suffering.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
You can wait, Navia. You can wait.
Huh? What's going on?
And this is the second time in a row. I'm assuming this is the next trial after Lenny's. This is the second time in a row that Navia has burst in.
Why is she interjecting again?
Yeah.
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness.
And this time I'll do even better. I'll provide you with a prime suspect.
But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
Oh my god. I love you, Navia.
We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to charge you with contempt of court. Well, I never had respect for this place in the first place.
And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
I don't know if he'll be like, I don't know who you are or why you're doing this, but thanks. Or if he'll say, I'd rather just take the duel.
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway. So I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
This is so funny. I shouldn't be enjoying this as much as I should be, but out of all the trials we've seen, and sure, this is only the second that we've seen, this is the most theatrical to me, because the charges are false. The suspect we're bringing forth is basically false as well. We don't think he's in charge of the serial disappearances. We just think he's in charge of the synth, at least. And the death of, Navia's father. Well, that does mean he must know the people in charge of the disappearances. Anyways.
Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Oh. We already agreed it was going to be not Callus, Marcel. Right?
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Oh god, did I, that was what we were just talking about. Was I supposed to choose someone different?
Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Really treating it like a play or a drama.
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
I really think she could have waited a bit longer before bringing it up. The child was doing perfectly fine stalling.
Yes, I do.
Wow, you're a real one, Navia.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
And so, okay, if they're about to take the, the opposition, is that what it's called? The opposition side? Then, who was opposition before? Childe was defendant, right? One way or the other. So who was accusing him before? Who brought the charges against him? We never saw that side of the courtroom. After some time, a shocked and confused Marcel is brought to the stands.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
So far, he's acting like a really cool uncle.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun.
A gun,
If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
Please let her finish her statement, if you would.
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
She can't follow the story right now.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
And here comes the stalling.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
And of course he remembers too. Ooh! Whoa!
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
We get to do this again? And this time against Neuvillette. Oh dear. And I'm assuming that any incorrect information he has will just be because that was what was known at the time, you know?
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Who is that? Just a random guest? Or is that Thierry?
When the guests arrived at the scene, they
Jacques.
found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life.
You didn't find any other firearms, but did you find any other bullets?
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion,
Ooh.
and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
That must be Navia's father.
Callus was defeated by champion duelist
Callus.
Clorand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
Here we go, here we go. Okay.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene.
Wait, isn't the true culprit and the third person the same person? Yeah. I thought they were the same person.
Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Here we go, here we go. Alright, Navia, what you got for me? Okay. So, the banquet. It was hosted by the Cabrières. Callus did not carry a gun on him when he went out. Okay, he's the only one who could have done the Gardamek attack. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, okay. So for the banquet... Oh, jeez. Let's see. For the 2 gunshots, Callus, who had according to the investigations, Callus, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal. So... This...
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
Okay, so she's saying that Marcel pulling all the strings is the true culprit, and the third person on the scene was the assassin. Okay. But let's see. Did not bring a gun with him yet. Yeah, so... I mean, there's 2 loopholes here. He did not carry a gun with him. And... the power to dissolve people. Well, let's do... Did not carry a gun with him? Well, this one could go here or here is my concern. Unless this is the... Okay, well, let's just see if this one works. It'll tell me, right? Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, let's read this again, then. What's it say? Carrying a gun, he lay dead. No possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped. So, is it the clothing thing? Clothing of an unknown person found.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
I'm assuming that this trial is going to go kind of like Linny's, where we come up with a story that seems perfectly reasonable, but as time goes on, we see more and more of it being incorrect. So every time she says something, I'm just like, I feel the assumptions happening. I see the assumptions happening. Okay, first shot must have missed, second must have taken his life. There's no third person. But there is a method, so...
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
That's why I couldn't find one for number 1. We're not supposed to change number 1. Huzzah! Yay, we did it! For now.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
I mean, yeah, how do you think all the other disappearing women disappeared?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
I could really see this going either way. Either he's like, you know, pretending to be supportive, or he really is that supportive.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2 things. 1, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
But all the evidence we've used is evidence that is on record from the previous trial, just looked at in a new light, and I suppose the testimony from Jacques' family, which we could go make a record of.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match.
True, somebody disappeared.
Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
It is, she's very happy today.
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
She's being very polite as well.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
Right, she's not actually in the trial herself this time, too.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described...
Though Melissa has a point. Instead of just saying, ah, I see, so the conclusion is obvious to me now, she's saying, we should investigate this. Nice! You've gotten some development already, Farina.
Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
Nobody would have believed him?
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple.
Oh, the blackmail.
Felt there were
right.
things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
Oh?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an
What was that
all-out war
shock
with
for
Spina
Rena?
right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying
Amazing.
silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate.
So why are you speaking up now, Navia? Well, we know, but I wonder if anybody will ask.
I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
Just from this shot alone, I am convinced that Nevalet feels very deeply about the way that Callus's case turned out, and he regrets it very much. I think he's seeing a little bit of hope. Oh, that's how I choose to interpret this shot, at least.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Oh, and for Farina, she's finally seeing the consequences of possibly her actions in turning trials into entertainment?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Oh, the way her tone got so soft.
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clorand.
Ooh. Hey.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clorand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
I'm just picturing all the audience members just looking up at the ceiling right now.
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Besides the fact that somebody disappeared.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
You know what I think would be really funny? Charles is supposed to be in the audience right now, right? It'd be really funny if he just left.
Of course, Your
Where
Honor.
is he?
The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous.
And she hasn't even brought up the thing about how he keeps saying there was only 1 gunshot.
I'm
There were
used
2.
to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's kind of a flimsy reason for accusation.
On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Oh yeah? How would you do it? How would you, say there was a guard standing on a stage in the opera house, how would you remotely detonate him,
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter?
Okay, now you're playing it up a little bit much, sir. I'm starting to suspect you even more.
But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson.
Don't like this guy.
Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
What's that, Marcel?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage.
You're from Snezhnaya?
But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't think you're the main mastermind. You're just the head of the synth operation, possibly.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances?
You've put too much thought into this, sir. Especially if you were so surprised to be brought to trial so suddenly.
You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
No, he's just not he's not the guy who started the disappearances. He just used it for his own means at a certain time.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
His own ends, that is. Still.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings.
Marcel.
Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
Marcel?
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Ooh. Ooh! Got him!
Oh, so you do know that name.
You know, I'm wondering this might not be at all related, but Marcel is a surprisingly Fontaine name for somebody from Snezhnaya.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
Sure.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Oh. A little while earlier at the entrance to the synth production base, I was wondering where we were. Okay, I guess we're inside. It almost sounds like we've gotten her the evidence, but how could we have communicated it to her? Unless she was waiting outside for us to get back to her before she moved in, so we'd already reported to her when she started talking. Man. It's so well done. It's so well done. It's like, I feel a little I feel a little conflicted at the same time, because it's like we're becoming exactly that which is part of the problem. You know, we're enjoying these trials as entertainment. But Dwarf Resurrection party setup. Whoa. Whoa, that is so pretty. Is that the same as in the teapot? I think it is. But in our case, you know, this is a video game, and it's so satisfying to see us stepping closer to justice, you know? That's why I am delighted by all this, and to seeing how everybody is reacting to the knowledge that they might have been wrong in the past and willing to re-confront the truth. I love that. I'm so happy. Alright, we unlocked a thing. Start thing. Run away from thing. Oh. Immediately run back towards thing.
Is it because of this?
Wow, look at that.
That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
It looks so cool. This place is beautiful. Hey, it's a chest. Don't mind if I do. You kill people, I'll take your stuff. And that's the new chest opening line. Wow. This place is incredible.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon
Water it is.
Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Should I really jump all the way down there? That looks like water. Okay. I'm guessing it's going to be water. Like in that other place where we raised the water level. In the Institute. Do you want me to go down first? Let's see. Hey little guys, let's go down. Let's see if we can interact with anything down here. Thank you. Merci. Oh, here we go. Cool, cool, cool. Well, let's see if there's any chests or anything in here. Don't want to miss anything. Go for it! Yes, my child! Oh, this thing is so beautiful! Oh, I don't think we're supposed to be able to get back up. Well, hopefully I didn't miss anything. Corners, corners, corners. Always gotta check your corners. Okay. But yeah, I was expecting some sort of like refinery, right? Because I thought this was the synth production plant. Wow, look at this person. What civilization is this from? I was thinking Fontaine. But we've never seen any statues like that on the surface. Who's that supposed to be? Oh, is the water level rising? Ooh. It is indeed. That's why there's all these aquatic plants on the surface. Well, that gets us most of the way there, but not entirely.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top.
Oh, right, and if there's any
This
chests...
is still a ways away from where we need to go.
I can check again. Okay, I really don't think there are. Alright, checking the bottom layer. Okay, up we get. What's this? Can I get up here? Oh dear me, those are turning gears. Let's not get caught in that. Oh, it's telling me I need to go over there. Alrighty. As fast as you can, dear Vega. I feel like if I dove, it would be slightly faster. But, you know, we're getting there anyways. Okay. This is so cool. Hello!
By royal
Salut! No, thank you. Ouch. Rude.
Everyone hold hands.
You're always so mean to me, dear Gardamex. What have I done to earn your ire except invade your precious workshop thing here? Bubble! It really is just a random bubble. I can't believe it just leaves the scene so quickly. Ah. If it would at least track to enemies like the Hydro Mages did, I would have felt satisfaction. Vengeance would have been mine. Oh. I wanted to look at those cool gears, but you know what? There's cool gears in here too. So what is this place? It's water powered. It seems... Ooh, wow.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Do you suppose this is not just a refinery for synth, but a refinery for primordial water? Goodness me, that's gorgeous. Wow. Because they have to somehow harvest primordial water, right? They have to get it from somewhere, at least. Where do they get it from? The Archon's Tears? The Emerita? So I am expecting to see some sort of primordial water farm somewhere. Hey, at long last, a chest! Hee hee hee. Hooray! Tell me your primordial secrets, or I swear! That's her voice line for this one. What does she swear? I don't know. Just vague promises of violence, I suppose. Oh, big boys. Hello. I'm just waiting for a cutscene to grab me at any moment, which is why I'm being so cautious.
By royal decree.
No, thank you. Please? Oh my goodness me! These guys are strong. Ah, you back? There we go. Out of the way, out of the way. And no thank you. Back to Nahida. Both Nahida and Xingqiu I'm keeping an eye on at this point. Ah, I knew there'd be another round. Rude. Oh, it's fine. They're babies. Sorry, except it really hurt her. So maybe vengeance will be mine, actually.
No, my sword!
Wow, he got his ultimate back already. That's really nice. Okay. Yes, Nihida and Xingqiu need to heal. Yeah, look at this figure. They're holding, a sword with sort of the balance scales imagery that we've been seeing generally in Fontaine. So maybe this is intended to be
Rain outlines your fate.
a Hydro Archon statue, but the outfit is so different. Some other statue of somebody holding a sword of justice? I like the circle imagery too. That is just such a really cool looking statue, but who is it? I want to know. I can't believe how much food I've used. Oh my goodness me. Actually, let's go ahead and get some swords going. You can have sword and fly at the same time. Don't do this at home, kids. But I want to heal. Whoa!
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum.
Look at that. Do you suppose that's primordial water?
Though, as expected,
It looks frozen.
the mastermind isn't here.
If I'm not mistaken, he's being charged by Navia as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
Open every chest you see, Paimon. Many hands makes light work. If we work together, we can do it. Look at this. Yeah, this is definitely something. Wow! It's dark! And I can't approach. Oh, that's gotta be something interesting. What is it? Is it primordial water?
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research.
Now this looks more like a distillery.
Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough.
Jacob? Like, I've been calling him Jacob, but the Jacob of Renee fame?
The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Oh my god. What were... Yeah. No, you're so valid, Paimon. Calm down.
Sorry,
It's just a note. Can't hurt you.
Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before.
What was Jacob trying to research? Because I thought they were trying to find a way to prevent the flooding. Oh, does this tie back to the whole original sin theory?
How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone?
I would almost say Dottore if I didn't think it wasn't Dottore already.
You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Let's take a look. The goal of the researcher is to save his lover, a woman called... Bigneri? Who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of these experiments.
But if he was dissolving people, like if he was trying to find a way to bring somebody back, you'd think he would dissolve people in controlled environments and then just keep working with that water until he came up with a successful retrieval solution. Why is he dissolving people left and right?
Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here. Vache.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
No, I'm guessing. He's the researcher. She was the first person who dissolved, the Oceanid that we spoke to. And he's been trying to bring her back, and that's why he was an eyewitness and there's nobody else in the scene, because she remembers being held in his arms when she dissolved. Oh.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yes, he signed off on a bunch of the experimental reports. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably... Visionary?
So that's
Visionnaire?
Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
There must be more to this than meets the eye.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Okay. Oh, Jacob, we need to go read your notes again! Well, we have Renee's notes. That's a good point, because like we have Renee's notes and we have Elaine's notes, but we don't have any notes from Jacob, do we? What were his conclusions? What's he trying to do? I mean, what would you be trying to do with primordial water?
Whoa. There's so much synth here.
Oh, is that what this is?
So many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There are so many.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled.
That's good. You don't want to accidentally kill yourself.
Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth?
Don't try it. Well, that definitely proves that this is where they produce synth.
Yep, it's super obvious.
Is the primordial sea... I was thinking like maybe they're trying to collect trace remnants of it from like pools scattered here and there. But do you suppose it's below us? Because the thing in the background is rising up. So if the primordial sea is below us, this could be some sort of siphoning chamber. Really conveniently located right next to where they distill it. Okay. Look at this stuff, and I can't go in it. Like, do you suppose that's just because this is where the room actually ends? I think it is. Yeah, it's a game thing, not like an in-world thing. Oh wow, look at my party's just me. I don't even have I don't even have my abilities because I've got this. I missed something over here. And these guys are already checked off? Excellent. But yeah, so if Vacher was trying to bring his lover back, do you suppose Vacher is Marcel? I have like a 67% suspicion that he is. But it seems like this has been going back decades, but he has said that he's quite old several times, so maybe... Man, I was really thinking that Marcel was just the leader of the synth operation and was using, like, was in a business partnership with the Primordial Sea guy and was getting resources from him to make synth, but that the disappearances were the prerogative of somebody else, but it might actually be the same guy. Oh my god.
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things!
Oh no.
Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box!
Gifts he's bought for her? There's a name, too.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
I was hoping they were gifts he bought for her, but no, they probably belong to the victims.
Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
Oh, so he did do some of the dissolutions in a controlled environment, I see.
And then they were turned into water.
How do you think he lured them here? Or do you think he just straight up kidnapped them? Probably.
And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
So many more. Are there even more victims than we knew of? Oh, gosh. Oh my god, you can just feel the pain in this place. I'm not enjoying this place anymore.
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water!
Indeed. That must be the water from the Primordial Sea! So it is. Oh god, does that mean that this is where people were submerged?
That means this is where they make all the synth! And that special water is the main ingredient!
Oh god, don't tell me he, like, put people in this pool, and then they dissolved, and then later he would collect water to make into synth. That's people water. Oh god.
If you dilute it with
people
normal
ate
water,
that? People
you'll
drank
get
that?
synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human! Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Thank you, Paimon. Oh god. Well, I have to appreciate the game not letting me go in. Even though we're not from Fontaine, but then again, we're not from this world. Who knows? So who knows what would happen?
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes.
You get him, Detective Paimon.
Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
Oh, this could be helpful. It's probably related to his and Jacques' case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Pretty conclusively. Is there anything else that we can use?
We still have determines the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization.
Oh, Callus, you did good, buddy.
The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely.
Oh, hoo hoo.
I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia.
So there's 2 people at this high level.
Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
At least 2. They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
There were multiple people working on this. We started with that one guy possibly trying to bring back his lover, but now there's multiple people involved with all this needless research. Oh god.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But
who really is this Vache?
yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Clever. But not clever enough. Let's look again.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Okay. Look for more clues. I see sparkles, but are these the same clues as before? A pool full of water from the primordial sea. Countless sins were born of it. Nothing else here seems particularly noteworthy. Besides the investigation reports, there were also a lot of research materials here. It seems their experiments have been going on for a very long time. But there's nothing here on Vache's true identity. Let's see how far out of bounds I can go. Like, can I... No, I can't climb. I can double back and see if there's anything closer to the entrance as well. According to the records, Vache didn't care how many victims he had to dissolve in his quest to bring his lover back to life. But there's nothing here on Vache's true identity. Bottles full of synth and water from the primordial sea. These can be used as evidence to prove what this place was used for. Nothing else here seems particularly noteworthy. I kind of feel a little sick, I'm not gonna lie. Oh.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
If he kept her belongings, I assume he would keep them in a safer, more special place. But maybe some letters he wrote her that she kept, or a necklace he gave her with their names?
Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Paimon, I wouldn't eat anything we found in this room, I'll be real with you. Paimon, I found it. Oh, I found a book!
Whoa,
Books are very helpful.
Let Paimon see.
Look at this. It's a really pretty book.
Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Please say that like 5 more times.
Vinier.
Okay. It's a soft G. Vinier. Cool. Like a vignette.
You found her diary. Let's see. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Take a look at this page. She made a list of baby names. Oh my god. I can't read any of these. Am I supposed to be able to read these? Because I can't. Let's take a picture. I took a picture. Is Vache on there? Or is Marcel on there?
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel.
I knew it! Marcel.
Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
And that's why he was able to say, oh, well, this has been going on for longer than I've even been in this nation. How did he get to Snezhnaya? Maybe Vache fled to Snezhnaya at some point? Or sent him off? Because he got mixed up in all this business? But yeah, so that's why he knows for sure that this has been going on for longer than he was born. I figured it, or longer than he's been in Fontaine, because it started when he was born. He's probably a very young baby at the time. I figured it out. Let's go, Paimon. Ooh!
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Don't worry, Paimon. I've got you. We were right. We were right. After obtaining the final piece of key evidence, he raced back to the Opera Epiclese.
And whose image do you see, Marcel?
His parents, maybe.
Is it a man named Vacher?
His father?
Oh, so you do know that name.
This is amazing.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
Paimon, take the evidence, fly it up to her.
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Were you bluffing, Navia?
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
Sorry, Nivelette.
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Oh, we have found everything. You say you've never heard of Vacher. Okay, so... Well, let's just start with the notebook. To establish that he definitely has heard of Vacher.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Oh no! No, it is him! Oh, I think they're... Okay. At first I thought maybe their baby died. Because, Vinier dissolved. She probably was still pregnant at the time. And so Marcel renamed himself? Or, yeah. Let's see.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you!
The time doesn't quite line up though, Paimon.
You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you.
And I love that even though Navia is doing a lot of this to clear her father's name, she's also, you know, spoken to... Oh, what is his name? How am I blanking on his name right now? It's because I'm thinking of Jacob. What is his name? That one guy's family. She's spoken to that family. And she wants to get justice for them as well. So she's doing this for the living and those who have passed.
So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Oh yeah, he's gonna say, I've been determined for 50 years.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this?
Oh, here we go.
Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes?
Well, yeah, because you're doing that to people now. Well, I suppose he's kidnapping them first, but still.
No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me.
And either they didn't record that report of his, or he somehow got in there and erased that report of his. Wow.
They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people.
You know what? That's fair.
Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow.
Don't do it. There's other people connected to this. We need to find them too.
But I'm not from this blasted place.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
Oh, and I get the feeling he's tried. Oh, no. No. Oh, Synth.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
Rapidly losing cool uncle points, Marcel.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Venier. I promise. We made a promise.
Why do I get the feeling he's gonna fall off the side of the balcony?
Venier!
The guards can't get close without worrying about being dissolved.
Please, Venier, don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
You're not sitting down?
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Sure. Yeah, they definitely need to see that place. Make sure it's the guards that you trust. Because some of those guards, not very helpful. Little
The man now known
dissolvey.
as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover, Venier.
The Adventurers Guild!
During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Venier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth.
And I definitely think he discovered that by trying to drink it himself.
However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
Charlotte's gonna flip. She's gonna scream, oh my god. I'm so excited.
The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges
Ooh.
against Mr. Vacher.
If they want to slip one last plot twist in there, the Oratrice has a chance to do something interesting. This is such a cool shot. Wow. What do you think, Oratrice? So pretty.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is...
Are they gonna plot twist me?
Guilty.
Nope. Oh, thank God. I was getting a little scared. Yep.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
The rhyme.
Good. It's what he deserves.
Oh, be careful.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
I'm so tense. I feel like something's going to happen.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Well, he's managed to evade detection for this long. He has to be.
We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves!
Oh, and does this mean that Callus's name is finally cleared?
Huh? Are you okay?
Navia?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
You weren't hit by some water, were you?
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner.
Please tell me that's relief and not... You okay?
See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending.
Why was there nobody else at the production site, though? Where's everybody else in the network? Hopefully the guards can track them down using the evidence there, but it still feels like we're missing something.
Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Who accused you?
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Who accused him?
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
If they ask the Oratrice, oh, was Mr. Tartaglia involved with the primordial disappearances, and it says guilty, I'm gonna be... Do you think it's been rigged to say guilty to everything? Well, no, because it said not guilty to Linny.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
This is, I feel there's a twist coming.
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
For some reason, when he says always, I'm thinking centuries and centuries this has been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
I feel like I'm about to be declared guilty somehow. Somebody's gonna be declared guilty.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case.
Look at him up there. It's so funny to me to see characters from, like, a great distance. It just cracks me up for some reason. Look at them up there. They're so tiny.
The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges.
Come on, Oratrice. Work with me here.
We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
He says it so smoothly. I've been practicing how to say it. He says it so smoothly. I gotta try to do it like him. Yeah?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is...
Yeah?
Guilty.
I think the water just hates you, buddy. Maybe the water just hates you.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent?
Careful now. You don't want to be held in contempt. Oh, I just got chills. Do you think he'll be sent to the fortress?
What's with this?
Do you think he'll
verdict?
break out immediately?
Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I think it's rigged. Also, I thought I thought everybody left, but they're still here actually. Huh.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Just what is going on here?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict.
He seems just as baffled as I am.
Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
He's remaining calm, so I assume he's going to investigate. Oh no. Buddy. Buddy.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine.
It's his character theme. I love his theme, the piano.
You've got your rules.
Oh, and he doesn't have his...
Got mine too.
He doesn't have his vision. Buddy, I think this is not a great idea. I think you should probably just leave. Don't try to fight them, just leave. If you've got time to fight them, you've got time to just run out the door. Oh, look at that! The marks. I didn't know he could do them in Electro too. Oh! No, he's really going for it! He's really going for it! The full third phase! Oh my god! Are you sure you should do this in front of like 30 witnesses? I don't know how many people fit in this room. Did Navia just jump on him?
I am sorry.
Oh my god!
If you have been wronged, we will find the truth.
Oh my god, he did!
But the rules of the court must be upheld.
He just smacked him into unconscious. What? Oh, he's gonna scratch. Oh my god. Whoa! He just jumped on him and knocked him out. Wow.
Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
That was so cool. So he's got to be quite skilled himself too. If he was able to just jump into all that electricity and not get hurt, especially because he's so hydro-aligned himself. Oh, that was so cool. I kind of hope he gets sent to the fortress, because then we get to go to the fortress, right? We have to go and ask him questions. Oh.
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court.
So it really has been around for a very long time. Who does the maintenance on it? Is it possible to rig it? Is it possible for the water itself to be biased? Because water doesn't like Childe nowadays.
All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Oh, if even the Chief Justice doesn't know, then we have no choice but to ask the Archon herself.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it!
Whoa now, careful. Do you suppose, I really think the Gnosis is in there. Do you suppose they gave the Gnosis to the Thing hundreds of years ago? Like, do you think she ever even held the Gnosis? If the previous Hydro Archon gave it to the Thing, maybe she never even held it. Does that make her not even the Archon? She can be a god without being the Archon, so maybe she's like symbolically the Archon. It's technically just a title and a position, so if she's a god who holds the position of Archon, she is the Archon whether or not she has the Gnosis, you know? Kind of like how Venti and A and Zhongli are still kind of Archons. And Nihida. I still think it's in there. I'm just curious if she's ever held it herself.
I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
Whoa, she's kind of panicking. It's okay.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
Oh, everyone's looking at her. Keep her cool, keep her cool. We can talk about this in closed doors. Look at that guy, he's walking into nothing.
She says she has no idea either? But that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Did they not know that there was a previous Hydro Archon? That's the feeling I'm getting.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
Ooh, and now everyone's questioning. Keep it cool, keep it cool.
My dearest citizens.
Thank you.
Did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken?
Oh no.
Or be the result of some sort of random mishap?
Don't double down, just promise them that you'll look into it.
Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, she's recovered, but she should just say, worry not. I will investigate the Oratrice. Maybe it just needs some maintenance. Oh, you know? Oh, don't double down.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment!
Okay, okay. Do you think they believe her, though? I feel like she's probably losing some points, but...
If you thought Childe had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence.
Also, how do you know that name?
Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable!
No! Now we're gonna look into it and it's gonna be revealed that it was a mistake and then you're gonna have to be like, oh, I was kidding again. No!
All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict.
You're backing yourself into a corner again.
Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
And now she escapes. Yeah, because it really seems like,
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
Yep.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
No, she was totally lying. Because it's really funny to me that it seems like the main antagonist in this region towards the Archon is going to be the Archon herself. She's going to ruin her reputation just by jumping to conclusions and then doubling down. You can save face by saying that you were wrong, you know.
She probably just put on that performance to save face.
I know!
As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
Way to pull the rug out from under her.
However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name. I kind of adore Neuvillette, actually. He's saying this even though Childe was basically in contempt of court almost the whole time. Almost kind of disrespectful, got into a fight, was clearly not going to accept their justice, being very disagreeable, basically. But now he's saying, despite all that, if he is not guilty, we will clear his name. I adore you, Neuvillette.
Alright.
You're great.
Even though we
Big
feel
fan.
pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
He'll survive a couple days in prison, I guess.
After all,
He'll be fine.
He's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Jump cut to Childe like, how could this have happened? Oh, hi! Look at how sharply he has to look down. That is hilarious. Hey.
Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
Oh, just asking him immediately. Oh yeah, because he's really not wearing a vision. So this is fascinating. What are you? Who are you? That you can use elemental power without a vision, my good friend.
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
You're telling me you're powered by justice itself? Sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, look at him. He's so glowy. It really reminds me of, well, I suppose you could say the Archons in general. I was going to say Farina, because she's been very glowy in our time here. But also, I've seen Venti be very glowy. I haven't seen much from Zhongli and Nahida, but still, there's a pattern here. Nahida, are you glowy? I think I just get so distracted when they do their ultimates. It's quite a light show for both of them, so... You're hurt! Okay, I'll fix that momentarily. Anyway, that'll be all for now. Okay, my next quest direction is to leave the Opera House. I would very much like to end the show.
Oh, Monsieur...
Just trying to see if there's anything else. But yeah, and also due to the scene of the crime, we couldn't see exactly how Neuvillette took Childe down. But that was hilarious. Oh my god, he just stomped on him, knocked him out. Let's leave the Opera House so that we can see what jump scare they have waiting for us. Oh, here we go. Oh. Hey, Vache.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Grab him. Hello?
Traveler. Hey, traveler!
Yes? Do you need something?
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
Also, why is there only one guard here?
No, wait! I just want to ask the traveler something.
Oh, hey, Neverlet.
I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
I'm open to hearing the question.
Go on.
He's so... Wow, he's downright gentle.
Thank you. Thank you.
He seems to have calmed down a bit, too.
I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache?
Oh, he doesn't know. Should we tell him?
I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Because, I mean, maybe he'll find some consolation that he can be near to his love again by visiting that fountain, if he ever walks free again. Or he might become even more fanatic and say, my efforts were working. I've brought her back this much. Or she's still out there. I have to save her.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
It's fine. It's true. I met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
It was around the Fountain of Lucine. Something to do with my sensitivity to the hydro element. And why do I feel like it's important for Neverlet to hear this? Maybe just such a hydro guy.
The Fountain of Lucine?
You might find this interesting.
Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never...
You never noticed?
Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What if he manages to dissolve at that last moment?
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
If Neverlet says yes to this, I have a new theory about him.
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Oh, well, obviously he's not human. I mean, look at him. But, ooh.
Very
confirmation.
Well. I will grant your request.
And he said yes. I have a tentative new theory.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So... I'm trying to see if I can end here. As much as I would love to go do that scene at the fountain, we are much over time, and I don't know if it's going to lead into an even bigger scene. Chances are it's not, but it might possibly do. So, here's the thing. My new theory about Neverlet. He's being very nice. We have established multiple times that he's a very nice guy, actually, and I really like that about him. But he's being so nice at this point, and on top of that, he's being nice to a person who has done a lot of extremely terrible things. Oh my god. Or at least he's done one incredibly horrible thing several times over. So he has no reason to be nice to this guy. Besides, like, you know, there's no reason to be deliberately mean to him. Like, basically, here's my theory. I'm feeling that the reason he might have said yes to this request is because he understands Marcel Vache's emotions. He wants to be near the person that he lost one last time. So my theory is that Neverlet has lost someone very important to him. That could also explain why maybe he's a little apathetic. It can be very hard to feel passionately about something when you are in grief and mourning. Now, I don't know how long ago this might have been for Neverlet. We've established he's told. So maybe he did lose someone. Maybe it was so long ago that that feeling is but, you know, a footnote to his everyday. But still, that's my tentative theory. Now, it doesn't hold a lot of water, fun, because he just then demonstrated that he doesn't quite understand human emotions entirely. You know, he's trying to understand Vacher's request just now. Or Marcel's request, as it were. So, it's quite possible that my theory is just wrong, and he's not empathizing with Marcel. He's just going along with it because he is genuinely that nice of a guy. But that's just a small theory that popped up for me. Wanted to share. So, man, every single day in Fontaine is so exciting! But that will be all for today. We, once again, did quite a lot today. Wow, we did a whole nother trial, we got to participate, we got to do some thinking, we got to have a Navia versus Neuvillette polite trial showdown. Fantastic, I really enjoyed that. I'm enjoying seeing character development in Farina. That's super neat. You know, even though we haven't interacted with her one-on-one outside of the court setting all that much, she's still changing just from these small events that we see. Not small events, but she's still changing. Just from that, which I think is super cool. That means, I guess you could say, she's a very changeable person, but I suppose that's fitting for the god of the water. In any case, it makes her a very dynamic character, and I'm really enjoying seeing that. She has a lot of... There's definitely a lot going on with her. We see a lot of reactions from her, and I can't wait to figure out all of her secrets. Peel back the onion, I suppose? The layers? But, yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of Farina outside of the court setting. Like, she's so intrinsically tied into the drama of the court for me now. I can't even picture seeing her outside the court. Like, I can't even envision what that scene might look like, where we get to see more of her, not in a court setting. But I'm super excited for it. So, for me, let's actually teleport to here, just to make sure I don't get kidnapped by the fountain. And that I can go about my business. Delightful. So, we'll be over there for our next episode, but for now... Oh wait, this is perfect, isn't it? For now, this will be where we sign off. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because I sure did. Oh my goodness. I kind of hope that Childe has gone off to the fortress, because as you know, I am looking for any excuse I can get to go explore more of this area, and if we can go explore to wherever the fortress is and then unlock that region, I'm assuming it's out there. I'm assuming we can visit. We can go visit and check in on him. Anyways, I'm super excited. I enjoyed that so much, so I hope you did too. As always, I also want to thank our Patreon supporters, Jay Blakewood, Conusard, Power of Chaos, Mary, Edu, Gibrilia, the Loyal Servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, who we saw a lot of today, no? And Ruru, and all of our anonymous patrons. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and I will see everyone in the next one. Bye now!